Now, for many of you, you may be playing with different flavors of video. You may be editing with high definition or standard digital. Well, once you open your project, you have to set the sequence at the type of video you're going to be playing with. So if it's HDV, you're going to have to set up your timeline for HDV. Here's how it works. Go to Final Cut Pro, go to Easy Setup. Aren't you glad it doesn't say hard setup? It says Easy Setup. First, choose what you're going to be playing with. HD, NTSC, that's for standard digital or SD. PAL, are you playing with European type of formats? Okay, so I'm going to choose HD, and then I can choose any type of HD. You might be using those new P2 cards with a Panasonic camera. That's DVC Pro HD. You may be using a Sony camera. That's probably 1080i60. That's standard HD, that's HDV, American NTSC format. You'll choose that. Okay, and then where it says rates, just choose all rates. Okay, so it's simple, HD, and again for American HDV, like using, let's say, the Canon HV30 or the FX1 or the FX5 or the FX7 by Sony, you'll choose 1080i 60. Once you finish your easy setup, though, it does not affect the current timeline or sequence that you're staring at on your screen. In order to use the setup that you just did, you have to open up a new sequence, and that's easy. You'll go up here to File, you'll go New, Sequence, and you'll simply create a new sequence. And that new sequence that just got created is going to take on the characteristics which you just chose in the easy setup. So this will be the HDV setup. Just by clicking on your sequence, you can see what the setup is. This 4:3 ratio, that's standard digital. But I'll click on this other sequence, and you see how that's a high def 16:9. Again, so you can see the difference. That's standard digital. That's high definition. So just by clicking on the Sequence tab, you can tell what your sequence is set at using the Easy Setup. All right, so you've set your user preferences just by following my fast track little solution. And now what we're going to do is we're going to set our scratch disk. Now, what is scratch disk? Well, come on over. Let's get back onto the program here for a second. You find your scratch disk in Final Cut Pro, and you go down to System Settings. Now, in System Settings, it says Scratch Disks. Now, Scratch Disk, in my opinion, is one of the worst names for what this is. What this should be called is, where the hell should my media go? All this is telling you, you're telling the computer, every time you make an edit in this program, every time you bring in footage for this project, I want you to record it here.